Hello everybody, welcome to the first 20th century Retro KAZO airport update. We're back here at Kalamazoo-Battle Creek International Airport back in the year of 1985. Very fun year here at Kalamazoo. I would say it's arguably the most interesting Retro KAZO update. That's not from like the 21st century rather. In terms of like what's listed on departedflights.com, they have like 75 through I think all the way up to 99. Not every single year, but a good selection of years. And of all the years that I saw for to do a Kalamazoo update, this seemed to be the most interesting and diverse in terms of the aircraft and airlines, and also one that I could actually do, because some of them, there just aren't models made for the aircraft that fly here. But this one seemed really doable, and I have two aircraft here for this update. So very excited. So without further ado, let's get right into it here. The airlines that served Kalamazoo back in 1985 are Air Wisconsin, Allegheny Commuter, Piedmont Airlines, Republic, and Simmons Airlines. So yeah, that I probably could incorporate like an Air Wisconsin flight in here. They did fly the BA 146, but I wanted to keep this update as realistic as possible. So the two aircraft that we see in this update, they are both 100% realistic to what you would actually see at Kalamazoo in this time, in terms of like at least what I can see here on departedflights.com. These would actually fly here to Kalamazoo, and I probably could add in some more aircraft and make it a little more unrealistic, but I wanted to keep this one as realistic as possible. So that's what we're going to do for this update today. I guess we'll get started here. We are already focused on the Republic CV580 here, Convair 580. Republic saw service to Chicago O'Hare, Detroit Metro, and Lansing. And not only on the Convair, they also had service on DC 910, 30, and 50. So Republic had probably the most extensive service here from Kalamazoo. Republic and Kalamazoo actually go back, way back. I mean, at least from departedflights.com, I can't see all the info, but even they flew back here even back in the North Central days on this Convair 580. Even back in 1981, they were the only airline here operating the Convair 580. I'm assuming to the same destinations. And then I guess just in the 4 years after 81 to 85, they added Air Wisconsin, Allegheny, Piedmont, and Simmons. So definitely Kalamazoo really kicked off there. But Republic, probably the most prominent airline that flew to Kalamazoo back in this time frame. And well, they were, I guess, replaced by Northwest Airlines, and I would say even Delta today is probably the most prominent airline at Kalamazoo. So I guess it's still true to this day. So this Convair 580, we'll say, came in from Lansing. I'm assuming they would kind of do like feeder flights. It would start in Lansing, then fly to Kalamazoo, and then continue on to like Detroit or Chicago, something like that. I'm not sure exactly what they would do, but I don't know. That's kind of what I'm inferring here. So I guess we'll just say this one came in from Lansing, and you'll be continuing on to Detroit Metro. So very cool to see that here on the Convair 580. I think Gemini did a phenomenal job on this aircraft. I really enjoy having it in the fleet, and I mean, I kind of got it for this purpose, so I gotta make it useful here. Gotta make it worth the purchase, because this was I mean, very nice model here. I'm super glad to have it. I'm super glad that I did invest in it, because it's stunning. So yeah, that's first route here for Republic Airlines, but we have one more aircraft to get to today, and I would argue the other one is even cooler. And here it is. Yes, it is the Piedmont 737-200. Wow. So yeah, this is an expensive investment, even more than the Republic, way more than the Republic. And I got it specifically for this airport update. So I'm gonna make it worth it here. We have the Piedmont 737-200 by Gemini Jets, and what a stunner she is. So yeah, Piedmont served Kalamazoo back in 1985 from Dayton, Ohio, and Dayton, Ohio only. So I guess you can already tell where this one's going to. Yeah, this one's doing the turn from Dayton, and still really cool to see Piedmont here. Don't really have much more to say on them though, because that's all we see here on departed flights. I think that they're only listed for 1985 time frame. They're not any later or earlier. Well, before 1985, it was only Republic / North Central. So I guess I really need to use this aircraft just for this one update. I mean, I'll probably do a revised update, or I'll do another one just including more aircraft here. But like I said, I want to keep this one as realistic as possible. So this one is realistic though. The Piedmont 737-200. This one would have served Kalamazoo. Would have seen this one here. Should have been a very cool sight to see for plane spotters of the time. Yeah, I think it'd be really interesting the plane spot back then. If I had like a time machine or something and going back into like the 80s and 90s, I think that would be a really cool time to plane spot. But I don't think that's really possible right now. So we'll stick with the airport updates and the modern day plane spotting. So yeah, this one's getting the passengers are deboarding. I don't think they had jet bridges back then. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember exactly when those were added, but I think those were added later. So we just have the air stair for this guy, and I don't think it would be like, it definitely wouldn't be like a modern air stair. So that's why I have like this is what would be on the side of one of the Gemini jet bridges, and I just propped it up on a Lego piece and called it a day because I think that's would be most similar to what they would use back then. And we have the baggage on the other side of the luggage carts. And then they're taking the bags of the aircraft. Also, wouldn't be realistic. I don't think they would have that modern equipment back in the 80s. But not everything can be realistic. I don't think all the ground foils are completely realistic in general, or definitely not to the time. Because like I said, I basically just took what I like for the ground foils that I made for this airport. I basically just took some very few photos that I saw off of I don't even remember the website anymore, but there were just these sparse photos, or it wasn't anything else like on Wayback Machine or anything. It was like Flickr or something, and I saw these photos, and that was my best bet to go off of, because there really wasn't any information on Kalamazoo pre their renovation. So hopefully this looks close enough to what it looked like back in the day. I tried to make it at least as close as possible, but I don't think this would be really applicable for the 80s, and I don't believe they had more than like 3 gates back then either. So a lot of the gates that I have 5 gates on this replica, so 2 of these would not be in use. But yeah, that's kind of the situation for this guy. I'm not gonna like make different retro Kalamazoo maps for different time frames, because I just don't think that's a very good use of my time. But I digress. I'm just gonna keep rambling here. It was fun to do an 85 Kalamazoo airport update. I don't really know what year I should do next for retro KAZO. I'll probably do another 2005 update, even though I've done so many 2005 updates. I do have more aircraft to like incorporate in there and just make it a little bit better. And of course with the ground foils, it will look more realistic. But yeah, I'll probably do a 2005 update again at some point. I'll probably do like an 81 update, but that'll just be the Republic, so spoiler alert there. And maybe we'll do a 90s one, but I don't have a lot of aircraft for the 90s, so we'll see on that. I guess just stand by for now, and we'll see what comes next. So yeah, that'll do it for this retro Kalamazoo update for 85. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I plan on doing another one of these at some point, so stay tuned for a second 85 airport update with some more aircraft. Maybe not as realistic, but we'll include some more aircraft in here, make it a little bit more interesting. So I'll see you tomorrow. Save the Texas Prairie Chicken, and as always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.